How's it going, everyone? Thank you for joining me and spending a bit of time here just discussing God's Word. Today I wanted to speak about direction, and particularly since we're kind of coming out of lockdown and COVID and all that sort of stuff, what direction are we headed in? To frame the problem, really, there's no better way than to use God's Word. And so I would just like to read from Proverbs 19 verse 2, and it says this: "It is not good to have zeal without knowledge, nor to be hasty and miss the way." So that's quite a self-explanatory verse. But as I read that, I was kind of reminded of a sport that I love, which is motorsport, and particularly rally driving. And for anyone that doesn't know, in rally driving you have a driver who's of course very skilled, and they drive on public roads that are just closed off for the day, and they're like mountainside roads and dusty roads, gravel roads, sometimes icy roads, so it's very complicated driving. So the driver has to be extremely skilled. But he's not in the car on his own. He has a co-driver or a navigator, and that navigator speaks directions and tells the driver what turns are coming up. It's left, it's right, it's over a crest, there's caution, it's slippy here or whatever, and kind of tells him what gear you should be in for the corner that's coming up, and so on. You might be thinking, what's this got to do with what we're talking about? But I remember seeing before that the driver and co-driver were flying down the road in their rally car, doing really good, but all of a sudden they spun out, crashed without rolling the car, but they crashed out. The car was still drivable, but it was kind of chaos in the car. Dust had come in, the co-driver had dropped his map and his notes, the driver was dazed and confused, but kind of the instinct kicked in and he wanted to keep racing. So the driver started the car back up and went to drive, but the co-driver was saying, hold on, I don't have the notes, I don't know where we are, I'm not sure where we are on the map, I'm not sure what turns are coming up. But the driver was basically in the mindset of, I'm a driver, I need to get driving, I've no time to sit around and wait for you to get the map or to tell me where to go, I'm just going to start driving. He did this, and then a few hundred metres down the road realises that the map is not adding up with what turns are coming up against and so on, and the co-driver is frantically flicking through the map until eventually they realise that they went back onto the road in the wrong direction. So no matter how skilled the driver was, no matter how hard he was pushing, no matter how fast they were going in the wrong direction, because they didn't take just those extra few seconds to look at the map and to get their bearings so that they would know then to head in the correct direction and push on and set a good time. Instead, they went the totally opposite wrong way, which one was dangerous because there's other cars going to be coming soon after them, but two, just meant they were wasting way more time than they needed to before they could rectify and spin around and go in the right direction. So I thought that was a good analogy for us, because now that we're coming out of this strange time that we've had, a lot of us say we've reflected, a lot of us might think we have taken things on board, we have a different viewpoint of life. But if you look on TV or even in your local town, the shops are open and all of a sudden there's queues around the block just to go in to browse, maybe not even to get anything, just for something to do. It's kind of strange because we've self-reflected, we've taken stock of what's important, what's valuable, the type of things that we want to maybe refocus our thinking on, and yet as soon as somewhat normal comes back, we're wrapped around the block just to go in and look at some t-shirts that you'll probably end up throwing out in a 6 months time. So really, have we taken stock? Have we reflected? Have we actually taken time to look at the map, look at God's Word, and see what direction should we go in now that we're coming into this new normal? Because I know, even for me, it's tempting just when things click back in, you get busy doing what you used to do, you have the same commitments that you used to have, and so are we just getting busy again as opposed to refocusing and going in the right direction, that perhaps God wants this time that we've just gone through to speak to us and to realign us in a different direction, to go in a new direction, a better direction, or even just maybe perhaps to just get back on track. But now that things are lightening again in terms of restrictions, we feel like we just want to go back to normal and do the same old thing that we did for years, and maybe God has a different plan. So I think we need to stop. And Proverbs 3 verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. So before we get caught up in the madness of life again, I know it's over the next few weeks things are going to change, and probably pretty quickly will change back to some sort of normal. Let's take stock. Let's stop for a minute. I know we've been on pause for a long time, but it's very easy to suddenly jump back, just like that rally driver. He drives, so that's all he wants to do. He just wants to drive again. And we can be kind of like that with our lives. We just want to get back to what we were doing, but let's really think and seek God so that we will be on that straight path. We will be on the right path for our lives. And I suppose in a sense, when we are coming to God to find out the right direction, it's not just a once-off thing where you check the box and say, yeah, I pray to God this one time and I think I'm set now. And then again, we just get flustered and busy and caught up in what we used to do. So I unfortunately can't remember who said this, but it was a quote. It's not from me. And it said that faith is the habit of looking to God. So it's a habit is something you do continually, sometimes almost without realizing. Like some people maybe chew their hair or their nails or whatever, or click their fingers. They're not even thinking about it. And it really struck me, because really that's what our faith should be. There's so many definitions for faith out there, and I'm sure most of them are valid, but this one really struck me because it's a habit of looking to God for direction, a habit of looking to God for our lives in every situation. So I really felt that it was a good way of summarising what I'm trying to get across here. Is like, let's look to God again. Let's make it a habit to look to God, to make sure we're going in the right direction, that we're not just getting busy, we're not just going back to normal. You may watch this and then later on forget it, but if you just even take away one thing from what I'm trying to say and my point of going in the right direction, it would be Psalm 16 verse 2. I said to the Lord, you are my Lord, and apart from you I have no good thing. That's true. I know it's true, been true in my life, and I need to remind myself of that again, making it a habit to look to God. Apart from God, we have no good thing really. So just an encouragement as I leave you, seek God in this new normal, seek God for your direction, take time to look at the map, don't just frantically put the foot on the gas pedal again and drive forward like you used to. Take the time, look at the map, and remember that apart from God, we really don't have any good stuff at all. So thanks for listening to me. I hope you're keeping well. Take care of yourself out there, and see you soon.